Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Getting to Know the Detectorist. Now, this lovely face with the epic mustachios is Mr. BobsDigginIt. Bob, thank you very much for joining me.
My pleasure, man.
Now, Bob, we all know you. You've been around for a while, and I was actually surprised about the exact date that you joined YouTube, as being only almost a year ago. I was really surprised because the type of footage that I've seen is actually more mature, more experienced. Can you give us a little bit of background on your metal detecting career, if I can put it that way? When did you start? Why did you start? Did you see somebody doing it? How did it start? Give us the lowdown.
Well, it's always been something I wanted to do. I've always been the scavenger type, beach combing and dumpster diving and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wanted to, do the metal detecting. My biological father, I haven't seen him since I was about 6 years old, but I always heard stories that he did it.
Okay.
Back in the early 70s and stuff. So it was always an interest of mine. And I don't know, I like to find old stuff. I like to find stuff in general. It's really, it's like, ooh, what is this? And oh, look at that. And, it's just cool. And once I started metal detecting, which was March 13th of 2013, and like every hole is like opening a Christmas present. It's just.
I feel exactly the same. I said I feel exactly the same. I've got the same excitement of getting that plug out and knowing that whatever I've picked up is in this bunch of clay or dirt. Opening that little package is like Christmas. It's fantastic. I agree with you. So, Bob, what affected your choice in metal detecting gear? The machine you chose. Did you do any research, or did you just decide to take the first thing that came along?
Well, actually, I kind of had to go by price, and I started with the Garrett Ace 50, which is, you started with that too. Damn fine entry level machine.
I agree. Yeah.
It's not expensive, and I kind of like the fact they're made in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
That way, if you have any trouble with it, it's a lot easier to get things taken care of later.
Yeah.
Which I never ever had a problem with it. It's an awesome machine.
Same with mine. Actually, did you say 50 or 150?
150.
Oh, the 150. Yeah, exactly the same one I started with. The issue I had, and I've mentioned this a couple of times in the past, the area that I live in, the soil is really metal rich. It's mineralized. And I'm sure that you found with that little machine, it's really sensitive to some stuff like that. So you can't discriminate or ground balance with that machine. So that forced me to go up to a higher end machine to accommodate for the area I dig in. But this interview is not about me, Bob. It's about you. Up to date, what is your favorite find?
I saw you ask Aaron this, Tulsa, and the more I thought about it, I could say Morgan silver dollar. I could say 1849 large cent. To be totally honest, I think my favorite find is all of you guys out there.
Oh, man. I didn't see that answer coming.
and, I've met a lot of great people, made a lot of friends. It's really, really cool.
Well, that's kind of treasure. Actually, that's a really good answer, Bob. Thanks, man.
It is the biggest treasure by far.
Now, then the next question: how are you going to answer this? What is the one thing that you would like to find? The most spectacular thing?
I don't know. That's a long list.
I can understand. Actually, it's such a difficult question to answer. Now, as I have been going through interviewing people and talking to people about it, there isn't one specific thing that you really want to find. You just want to go out and find stuff. That's actually the number one thing that I found. The biggest feeling, or the most prominent feeling in any metal detectorist. They want to get outside. But if we have to look at a bit materialistic stuff, I would like to find a Model T Ford key. But finding that over here, I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, I have one. It's either a Model T Ford or a Ford tractor key, but it's an old one.
That's what I want to put it in a little glass frame right there. Because this wall is way too clean, man. I need something up there.
Some stuff on that blank wall, that's for sure.
Maybe I should just edit a couple of naked ladies dancing. Oh, actually, this thing. Green screen the thing. Sorry, Bob. Let's get back to you. Is there anything specific that you would like to find?
If I had to like reach out there and go for something really rare, I would say I'd love to find a meteorite.
Oh,
Yeah, got one, don't you?
just one second. Just one second. So, meteorite. Why a meteorite? Have you been watching that show on? I think it's Discovery. I don't know if you what channels you've got there. Meteorite Men. They go out and they pick up these little rocks and they wet themselves at a rock the size of a marble. Why do you want to find a meteorite?
Because it just seems like it'd be like one of the rarest finds. You know, it's you can you can hunt your whole life, probably never find a gold coin, but you know they're out there. You know.
Oh, yes, yes, I understand what you're saying.
Hunt your life, never find a gold ring, but you know they're out there. That meteorite, it just seems to me that it would be, and besides, it's never been touched by man. It's from outer space. It could be from millions of light years away, been traveling around out there since before this planet was here even. So it's just I don't know. I find it to be something to be really exciting.
I can actually understand that. Now, you've just told me a fantastic story. Would you mind repeating yourself, please?
Sure. About 5 years ago, we're in Southwest Wisconsin in the United States. About 5 years ago, I had just sent my kids to bed. It was a little bit after 10 p.m. And my older boys, they're twins, were laying in bed and they were kind of looking out the window, chit-chatting. And a huge meteor, about 30 miles north of where we live, flew through the sky. Huge fireball. They got to see it explode. And unfortunately, I didn't. I was mad as hell, to be honest, that I missed it. I saw the windows all light up and stuff because it was so bright, it was unreal. But they got to watch it blow up, and then there's the 5 or 6 pieces that all flew apart and stuff like that. So, for them being, probably about 16, it was probably it's something that they'd be lucky to ever see again.
Yeah, I
But
was just going to say that.
because, like I said, it lit everything up brighter than daytime. It was a blue, electric kind of light. And like we went outside on the porch and we were like, that was awesome. Went back in the house, and 5 minutes later, the shock wave came through, and it shook the whole house. The windows were rattling, and up in the area where it blew up, it actually broke out windows and knocked pictures off the wall, all kinds of
Wow.
stuff.
Well,
And I didn't metal detect then, but there was like just a horde of people come to the area, and they ended up finding parts of it out in the cornfields and stuff.
wow. Now, that's something that I would put high on my priority list of possible finds as well. Now, Bob, what type of equipment do you use?
Well, right now I'm using the Garrett Ace 250. I have an 8.5 by 11 double D coil on it. When I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma with Aaron and Okie Digger and G-Man Tuna Can and Red Dirt Digger, I picked up a White's Bullseye 2 pinpointer because my other one, my
okay.
cheap one, and it was broke. And then I just use a little, made in USA $17 shovel and a little Fister's hand digger.
So that's your kit at the moment, and it's been
Pretty
serving
much.
you well. And we're looking at your videos, it's been serving you really well. Now, the big coil, don't you feel like in trashy areas you have trouble, going pinpointing the good targets, because that's a problem I've got with my big coil. I'm not sure about the exact size, but it's also a really big one. And when I go to a park, it's hard. Could you just, right, Bob, we left off at park hunts and the big coil and having issues with trash. Now, have you ever visited the park? Have you done park hunts?
I do a couple parks. But usually like when I don't have a lot of time or something and I happen to be close, I'll stop into a park for an hour or so. And what I do is I actually try to hit the same area every time I go to that park, because I clean the trash out, and the more trash you get rid of, then the more good stuff, if it's there, you start to find. Because if you have thousands of pull tabs and bottle caps. You're not. It's rare to find a good coin or a nice relic or something mixed in that.
Hmm.
But the that trash you take out, the better chance you have of finding what's decent.
I agree, and the majority of the times that silver ring is right under a bottle cap in the
Yep.
same hole. So what you say makes a lot of sense, and I've actually found that to be true with based on my own experience. Uh, I did a park hunt recently, my first one, and realized that this big coil was picking up maybe 2 or 3 targets in its range at the time, and it was really hard to pinpoint the thing. I would like to, especially in the park, you want to keep the hole as small and tidy as possible. But with that coil, you're picking up 3 targets. You don't know where to start. And luckily, I'm fortunate enough to have a pinpointer. That thing actually helped me really a lot. And that way, I determined what the signals were telling me, and I ended up finding a lot of old coins. So I'm a big fan of park hunts now. What was the craziest place that you visited metal detecting?
I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean by crazy for starters.
Well, if I can explain it this way, or give you maybe a hint or idea of what I'm talking about, the previous interview I've done was with Wesley from the YouTube channel Wesley VB, and he said that he went out to a military training ground unknowingly. It was an active training ground, and he actually saw guys practicing with live rounds there while he was digging in the bushes. So that's actually a silly place to go. You don't know if you're walking into a firing range or a bomb testing range. Uh, I've stopped at a national monument of a battle site, and that was before I actually knew about the laws in our country, which is that you are not allowed to remove any relic from a heritage or protected area.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like here.
so I went there, I visited the monument, and well, I had my Garrett Ace 150 in the back of the pickup, and I said, well, hey, I'm here, let's try it out. I wasn't there for 10 minutes. This is a rural area, cattle farm, and it's on private property. And there was a public road, which was where I stopped, and the farmer made access by putting little ladders over his fence so that you can walk to the monument. And I wasn't there for 10 minutes, and the cops stopped there and asked me my business because a car stopped there that the local community didn't recognize, and they reported it on the two-way radio. So I just said, hey, I'm visiting the site, and they said, well, what's that machine there? What are you doing here? And I said, well, I'm just looking for my keys that I lost here last week. So that's all I'm here, but I can't find it now, so I'm leaving. So I had to lie myself out of that one. But yeah, that was the craziest thing I've done. So if you haven't had a crazy experience, I would say count yourself lucky.
You know, I live in a rural community. Everybody knows each other. So, you ask, they say no, they say yes, whichever way it goes. But I won't go on somebody's property without permission. Down by the railroad tracks was kind of a crazy place because the trains go by every 20 minutes, and so you got to take a 3-minute break because you can't hear anything. And there's old telegraph wires down there and stuff, so and they're all underground because they've all fallen through the years.
Mm-hmm.
So you get places where it's one huge signal for a 10-foot diameter kind of area. It's
Yeah. Now, I visited this town not far from here, and I was at the old train station, and I also found a target that was leading me about 10 yards away, just maybe a foot wide, but for 10 yards. So I realized that must have been a copper cable or something like that under the ground. Bob, how do you go about finding sites to detect, and how do you go about? I think you're in the lucky position where you said you're in a small rural community and everybody knows each other. So getting permission might not be that hard as like going up to a total stranger and asking to go into his backyard. Maybe. How do you go about getting sites to visit and detect?
But we live 2 miles down the road from the local tavern, and that's always a good place to sit around and shoot the breeze with the old boys, and some of them are really interested, and they actually will ask you to come. Say,
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
feel
that's
free,
handy.
come on over. And then you got some of them that are like, no, 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 I don't want you to do that or whatever. And then sometimes some of them, they change their minds after a while too, because they talk to the other neighbors and they're
Yeah,
like, well, he doesn't make a mess. He's always nice, and he'll give you anything you ask for out of the stuff he finds. Because to me, it's the finding it.
yeah,
you know, Once I found it, it goes in the bag. I'm looking for the next thing.
yeah.
It's
No,
you know
I'm exactly the same.
that Morgan Dollar I found, the guy that owned that house, I offered it to him, and he's like, "Oh hell, Bob, just take it home with you."
Ah, Morgan
And
Dollar.
that's so good. What do they call it? PC. You know, what does PC stand for? No, not the political correctness. It's good. It's a good way to get people to kind of enjoy that you're around. You just say, "Hey, I found a silver quarter. If you want it, you can have it." Or I found this old crucifix. If you want it, you can have it. And
Hmm.
most of them say no, but occasionally they're like, "Oh, thank you," and they appreciate it. Even
Mm,
if it's some old crusty piece of crap, it might have been their grandma's. So they're interested.
of course. Now, I interrupted you a little bit there. Do you own a vehicle?
Yeah, I have a 2000 Dodge Ram 4-wheel drive pick 'em up truck.
Mm.
Here, let's see.
Oh man, look at all that snow.
There it is.
Oh yeah. Hey, the
You,
snow is
you,
coming
you can
down,
see
or
it.
is it rain?
Yeah, it's raining.
Ah.
Just started coming down pretty good actually.
Mm.
But you can see that truck in quite a few of my videos in the background. So
Bob, you're in the rural area. Oh, you're in the countryside, and of course you've got wild animals there to contend with. I think. I'm not too familiar with your area. No.
no,
Oh, so it's
I'm
not
the
like yeah.
wildest animal out there.
Say again.
I'm the wildest animal out there.
So people actually need guns against you.
No, no, no.
No, you're actually the harmless bear.
If yeah, I'm just a big teddy bear.
Do you own any firearms?
Many, actually.
Oh man, I'm actually
I
jealous.
posted a picture of this one on the website the other night.
Isn't that Dirty Harry's weapon?
It's the 44 Magnum, but it's not the same make or model. This is a Ruger Super Blackhawk 44 Magnum. Has a Bisley grip on it, and see a quilted poplar, custom made grips for me. So that's my baby. That's Ethel.
That looks very sexy.
I love it. Love it.
Now, Bob, since you've been flashing your piece for us, tell me, it sounds like you are really involved into shooting, maybe as a sport. Do you enjoy hunting or shooting?
I do some hunting. I don't shoot for sport as much as relaxation.
Okay.
It's never a competition or anything.
Mhm.
But when I'm having a bad day and I'm a little stressed out, you go put 6 rounds through that, and it puts such a smile on your face. It's hard to be mad anymore about anything. So I never kill for sport, ever.
Yeah,
It's all about putting some meat in the freezer.
same thing. We've got a delicacy over here. I think you call it beef jerky,
Yeah.
the dried meat.
Yep. Love
Now, we call it biltong, which is Bob. Now, recently you've gone live with your own website, BobsDigginIt.com. Guys, you can check the description below the video. I'll put a link in there to Bob's channel and his website. Bob, just give us a lowdown on the website. Why did you do it, and what's the purpose?
Well, it started out because the Google Plus YouTube thing
Oh man.
last fall. Yeah, exactly. It just irritated the hell out of a lot of us, and I was pissed off and was like, screw them. I'll make my own damn YouTube, basically. And it kind of changed from that. It turned into, I wanted something that was really a social place for our community, for people that they dig or they collect or they coin roll hunt. People that are just interested in that kind of thing, and a place where we could get together and kind of make our world a little smaller.
Mm.
You're in South Africa. I'm in Wisconsin, USA. There's people in the UK and Denmark and Sweden and Australia and everything else. And I just thought it'd be a nice way to maybe be able to kind of pull us all a little closer, get to know each other better, and share our bullshit.
Man, I must say that this community is something that I've never come across, or yeah, I've never came across anything like it. It's like everybody understands each other. All the guys are patient. They're all supportive. Even if your video is crap and you know it, they will put a supportive comment in there, building you up and giving you confidence to do that again. It's absolutely fantastic. Like I mentioned earlier today, people are just sending each other gifts and stuff they found out of no reason, out of their own pocket. You won't get that anywhere else on the internet. No community like this exists.
I agree. It's just the generosity that I have experienced, and I'm that kind of person. So I kind of fit right in it. It's like the stuff I find. I know there's people out there that are going to appreciate it a lot more than I am. So why not have them have it? And then in return, they send you something nice, maybe a T-shirt or maybe some of the coins from their country, or even a little piece of broken ceramic that has a nice design on it, or just it's because it is in life. It is really the little things that really matter.
Have you found that the stuff that you previously would kick to the side while you're walking on a path has new value to you? A piece of, like you said, a piece of broken pottery has got some new value to me. I don't walk past the piece anymore. I pick it up and investigate it completely.
It gives you a whole new outlook on garbage. That's for sure.
Yes.
Because you find out that a lot of garbage is not garbage. I mean, even that little shard of pottery has a lot of history, and it makes me wonder who held it. Did some little kid eat his gruel out of that bowl 100, 200 years ago? And was he an ugly little fat kid, or was he a skinny little sickly kid, or, was his dad mean? Was his mom nice? It just, my imagination just goes crazy when I find stuff like that. And it's like some of the sites that I hunt, I've really, really been there a lot of times, and you get to know where you can see where in the 1940s, that's where the barbecue grill was.
Oh yeah.
Dad threw all his beer tabs when he was cooking on the grill. See where that's where fat Uncle Charlie sat, and the change ran out of his pockets all the time.
Ah yes. It actually makes a lot of sense.
Kind of close your eyes, and you can see that family there in the yard. And you can see the kids playing under the bush over there. It beats the hell out of television any day. That's for sure.
I agree completely. Sorry, Bob. Just need to get the giggles past me and keep this professional, please. And stop taking off your shirt. Right, now, here we go again. Actually, I'm not going to cut this time. Bob, what do you look for in other people's videos, and what do you enjoy about other people's YouTube videos? And I'm not talking about professionals with TV shows. I'm talking about guys like you and me doing stuff out of the house.
My favorite part is to see somebody that's just really enjoying themselves, that enjoys being out there. They can find a square nail or something and be just as happy as they are with an Indian head penny or something like that. People that love it, and you can really see it. Some people are doing it because, they think they're going to find gold and be rich. But you don't see them people on YouTube so much either, because it is more about just loving the hobby and loving to get outdoors, and sometimes just being a little goofy or something.
Oh man, I love that. Oh man, I know Tulsa would love that as well, man. Oh, fantastic. Now, what you said about other people's videos, the passion and the excitement of finding something the ordinary guy on the street won't even look twice, something that we pick up and we will analyze it and we will appreciate the age and what that thing went through to be there, and the possible history behind it. That's something really exciting, and that's something I agree with you. That's something I watch for or look for and actually want from the videos I watch. Now,
Yeah,
Bob, now stop being a jackass and making me laugh. So yeah, as I said, us finding stuff, there's a much bigger appreciation for it, and I really enjoy that aspect of YouTube videos as well as the amateurism that goes into. I don't want professional videos. I don't want to watch that. I want honesty, because professional videos is something that I feel chases profit. It's not about the hobby. It's about making the TV station money.
right. It's staged. You know, it's not genuine excitement as much as it is, you know, like when you see, say, Metal for Detecting from Canada, Josh. I remember when he dug his first fish scale, the half dime, and the way his hands were just shaking, and you could hear the tremors in his voice and stuff. It transfers that excitement right to me, and it just gets my blood pumping too. It's fantastic. Now, I've never watched them stupid television shows, them guys at Detect. I have never seen a one, because, like we said, you know, it's phony. You know, it's not the same as us guys that are out there busting our humps and digging in the dirt and getting bug bites all over us, and you know, and just enjoying it for the love of being out there.
Yeah, I've got a problem with the hobby in that aspect, and that is the amounts of earth that I've moved, and the volumes of sweat that I've dispersed, and not losing a single ounce of weight is just ridiculous, man.
I
Oh,
lost 3 pounds last spring.
what were you using your hands? Because I've
I
been
just
sweating like a pig.
I go out in the morning, and I don't eat until dark.
Mm.
You know, I mean, get up. I don't eat breakfast. It just makes me tired again. I get up in the morning. I go out. I'll metal detect from 9 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night, and I have like a couple of bottles of water the whole day. You know, but like you were saying about all the dirt you've moved, I kind of compare it to where I've actually dug the dirt out of the Panama Canal, and I've also spilled it with sweat. So,
Bob, thank you very much for joining me. It was a blast. I want to congratulate you as well on the fantastic website that you've brought up or you made. And thank you very much for all the effort you've put into this community. I, speaking for the majority of us, really appreciate your input. You're going to make me
my,
seasick, man. Yeah, just to close off, Bob, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for staying up and giving me this interview. And I hope to see plenty more of your videos, and keep up the good work, guys. If you want to see Bob's videos and visit his website, you'll find links to that in the description below the video. I'll also put it in annotations onto the video. Bob, once again, I hope to talk to you soon. Thank you very much for your time.